Welcome back to DAGryffyn Hobby. My name's Dave. In this video, we're going to take a look at this 1001 Scout engine. I had a decent intro already for this beforehand, before I worked on this engine at all, but technical errors, I forgot to press record. So this is after the fact, but this did not look so good at the beginning. Very dirty, it wouldn't run, it just sparked a lot from the wheels. I could get it to go maybe an inch in either direction, and that's being generous. But let's back up a minute. Where did this come from? Well, this came to me from my buddy Art from Art's Model Trains. He gave me this set, which includes this engine, the tender, a gondola, a tank car, and a caboose, way back at the last York show. I may have done a video on it. It may have been part of my York video. I really don't remember at the moment, but it's been sitting here in my project pile for quite some time. I wanted to get it cleaned up and running. And I have to say, now that it's, well, cleaned up, it is running amazingly. Well, at least as far as Scout engines go. Compared to how this was about an hour ago before I started cleaning it, I am thoroughly impressed. Servicing a Scout engine's a little different with the whole plastic motor. There's only so much you can do to it. But if you have one and it's not running, take a look at the video, see how you can clean it up and get yours back on the rails. So far, the only thing I've done is spray this with a little bit of contact cleaner, clean some of the junk off the wheels and the outside of the case. These wheels still are bad. I need to see if I can clean these up some. Really, a Dremel would probably be fantastic in this situation, and kind of go around the wheel and I'll buff it up, but unfortunately, I don't know where mine is. What else is new? Just for fun, I'm going to take some sandpaper. Okay, well, a lot less sparking from the wheels, so that's a good step. Now, servicing these things, there's not a whole lot you can do, but this is where the brushes are, and it most definitely needs a cleaning. 2 screws and the plate. Take that one out. Take that one out. Well, there's a problem already. That brush is not moving freely in there. Yeah, it's filthy in there. Since this is a Scout motor and it's plastic and you really can't get it open other than this spot here to clean it unless you pull the wheels off, I'm going to spray some contact cleaner in there. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'll take a look at the gears. And they're a mess. So this is a time-consuming process, but I'm going to go around and scrape in every tooth of the gear. I'll try to clean out here underneath between the wheel and the housing. So I'll be doing this for a little while. No point in filming all that. So hold on, I'll be back. And you can see I got a lot of dirt, lint, carpet fuzz, hair, I don't know, out of here. So I was able to do a pretty decent cleaning. Also, with the brushes out, you can turn the motor until you can scrape out in between the sections on the commutator, which was good because I got a lot of dirt out of that as well. And then I used a Q-tip with contact cleaner in it and just kind of scrubbed them up. So really, it looks pretty good. So that's all as clean as it's going to get. I'm going to put some lube down here, up here, and up here. Mainly because I had already lubed it, but then I did more cleaning. So I want to make sure there's lube in there. And I'm going to reach down and put some, hopefully I'm getting the axles. I can't really tell. Seems like you have to find the space between the plastic case and the wheel. There's a little bit of plastic that comes out on each side that holds the axle. So you kind of have to push the axle one way and then try to fit the lubrication down in there. And I'll put grease on the gears, but I'll do that in a little bit. So I don't forget, I'll put a little bit right there. Now the fun part, putting this part back together. And it's not that bad once you've done it a couple times. I've done it a couple times, but not much more than that. You can see how filthy these are. One of the things with these Scout engines with the plastic motors, they're not easy to service. So I feel like a lot of them probably never got serviced. They weren't the top of the line model, so maybe people didn't put in the effort and the expense to have them properly cleaned and maintained. That's just an assumption. I don't know. Just cleaning these brushes alone will make a big difference because they are sticky and filthy. So I have no doubt this will run better when it's back together. In addition to cleaning the brushes, we'll need to clean inside here because you want the brushes to move properly. I should have paid closer attention when I took this apart because the orientation of these makes a difference. I mean, the two parts, I believe, are interchangeable, but the way that they sit in there matters. When you're cleaning parts like this plate here, be careful not to bend it. I have had them just kind of snap, so you want to be careful with those. It's like plastic or Bakelite or something. So to put them back together, always make sure the brush moves. And then it just goes down into one of those spots. Okay, so I've got both back in there. There's a little hole in the middle, and that sits on a tab right there. There's also a tab that comes down a little further on one side right there, and I believe that goes down towards the motor. Okay, so they're in place, but it's not necessarily set up right. This is the E unit, essentially. So the contacts have to be correct. At the moment, you can see this one and this one are both hitting plastic. So if I can turn one of them, of course my springs just popped out. One by, I think, one tooth of the gear. At least for start, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, I'm still lined up plastic and plastic, so that's no good. Hopefully I didn't just move them both. I think I did. This is the part that's very frustrating about these, unless you do them a bunch. And this might only be like the third time I'm doing this. Yeah, see. Let's see here. Plastic. Yeah, I got them right back to how it was before. Okay, now if you look at it, plastic, metal. So if I can keep everything from moving, so we've got plastic contact, metal contact, plastic contact, metal contact. If I remember properly, that's how it should be. So I'm going to slide the plate back on and we'll give it a try. This is one of those things that's not complicated, it's just frustrating. If you're going to do it, it's not like it's something you wouldn't be able to get back together. It just might take some time and some trial and error. I'm assuming now, of course, that I put it back together properly. So let's see what happens. And nothing is happening, which I'm assuming I did it wrong. Well, it definitely works. It's whether or not it's reversing is the question. One problem that I've had with these is these E-unit switches, and they're really not serviceable unless you pull everything apart. This one seems to be having a little bit of an issue. Now you can see part of it in here, but I don't remember what it looks like in there to do anything about it. I'm going to put this on the layout, zip it around a few times, and see if that helps everything work a little better. Okay, so after some running, I recalled that I did not put any lube here and here. And these are the points where those geared contacts spin. And that's in addition to this lever here and whatever mechanism is inside. In a regular E-unit, the drum rotates and therefore moves the contacts. In this, these both turn just a little bit and change the contacts that way. That's why it was important to line up a plastic and a metal contact, plastic metal, so that way it could create a path diagonally through those as they rotate. So it was running pretty smooth, but it wasn't changing direction. And I realized I didn't put the lube there. So I pushed them in a little bit, made sure they were moving up and down, and put a little bit of Labelle on there, and then it was working wonderfully. Don't forget to lube those two spots. So since the motor is working, I'll put it aside, do a quick cleanup on these wheels, and we'll move on from there. The back of the motor is held in by this post. It slides through one side and screws into the other. And then the front is held in by that. You have to put in the trailing truck first, and it clips into the back of the motor. And then normally it would go through, a bar there so to keep it in place. This one doesn't have one. I'm guessing it broke off at some point. Kind of looks damaged here. Once that's in, you can take the post, slide it in there, and screw it into place. Now, if I try to run it as it is, this is going to hang and touch the center rail. So at least when it's connected to the tender, it will hold it up off the rail. For the front, put the front truck through the tab there, and then put this around the part here on the plastic motor, holds it in place, and then the screws. A little oil in there, and then where it slides up front. See, I always think they should go this way, but I guess it goes this way. Always pay attention to what yours looks like before you take it apart. There we go. Okay, so it's looking pretty good. I just cleaned the shell with a little diluted dish soap and some water and a toothbrush, and that came out pretty well. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay. Now I think we're ready to try it out on the layout. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on DAGryffyn Hobby.